Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG European League. We are live in Berlin, and there's 3 maps remaining, and it's all on Erangel.
It is. We're rolling it back. We're doing the classic, and we have 1 extra just to make sure we close it out in the most perfect way, and there's still so much more to be played for. That first spot is up for contention. I do still feel that FaZe have done enough to kind of lock this one in.
It's the classic. Yeah. Anything can happen here. Obviously, FaZe are strong on it. Liquid are strong on it. It's wide open still. You know, 1 big performance will throw it right back in the mix there. The bottom, the relegation, obviously is one of the big key areas. The desk also alluded to the fact that reciprocity and NIP are close on the money, which is the 8th cutoff, of course, as well. And CrowCrowd, with that win, and now 28 points behind Na'Vi for 4th place. What an achievement it would be for CrowCrowd to chase down Na'Vi. Would be massive. I'd love to see it.
I'd really love to see that. I think that for me, they've been a team that I didn't expect to do this well. I thought they'd be a middle pack, comfy team. They'd be good. They'd have maybe a game or 2 here or there. You go, wow, that's a big team.
I didn't know anything about mxey coming into this. I got to be honest. Yeah. I hadn't tracked him much. And all the stuff I'd done in the past with the wingman, etc., from GLL and all the tournaments with throughout the seasons, various tournaments we did. Had not seen him. All the qualifications, etc. So I didn't know a great deal about him, but he's absolutely delivered for them this season.
And again, you guys at home, I love getting your thoughts, your questions through to us. I know it tilts Martin off the face of the earth, but we've got a big one coming in actually from Prioros saying Monster Munch or Quavers.
Monster Munch any day.
Same.
No,
same,
not even close for me.
Like I'll dabble in a Quaver. I'll nick my mates, one every now and then.
It's
but
the roast beef Monster Munch.
Was it like pickled onion or something?
Pickled onions.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Tangy. I love a tangy crisp.
I got to be honest though, if he threw knickknacks in there,
now
it'd be a challenge. It would be close.
I love
spicy knickknacks and that'd be a close one.
Cannot beat it.
Speaking of spicy though,
talk to me.
This battle down the bottom, 448 points I believe is for the Knights, 445 for GamerLegion, and 443 for Raise Your Edge. Now, I just talked to Colabenta. I was like, you got some points in that game. We were cheering for you. You got some points. I said, what was it like? Because he said when he got the knockout, they're like, flush him. He's like, I'm trying.
It is
they
a
got
points
phased
grab.
down. And it wasn't a case of we can get across and maybe get into the final circle. They were like, no, we need to try and get this, confirm this kill on Rustanmar. And they just couldn't get it. It's like, I'm trying.
Oh, we've got a question from Toby, who is mine plus yours rookie of the phase. Do you mean someone who's come up and surprised us?
So
I feel bad using N47 because do they even count as a rookie?
Yeah,
really?
They do. I would definitely throw them in there as the thing. Obviously, you could look at mxey as well as definitely one of the big rookies that have come
Powerhouse
in. And there's multi ways to look at it. You can look at it like, do you mean top fragger? Obviously, you've got Ival for N47, who's the in-game leader. You could argue that Paige and Vasco have also had some mega performances. T-Bone also had a
I like T-Bone. I do like T-Bone.
I don't know.
It's hard.
That is a tough one.
It's hard. I
think based on the team's performance, I would probably have to say mxey from CrowCrowd as the rookie coming into it and really stepping it up. Also a big shout out to Mitraleius. Mitraleius has come in and really done very well, considering he was really throwing the deep end. We had no idea what to expect from him. Monkey doesn't count as a rookie.
I don't think you can count.
He played in phase 1. I'm not having that. And
I don't know.
And he was like the
count Monkey, yes.
5th highest damage dealer in
he's
phase 1. I still wouldn't put Monkey in there. I would still say mxey over Monkey.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess individual. True. Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. I'd say mxey has probably been one of those players as an individual.
A dog on a leash, I think they called him in the interview. Hi, I'm Dog. Okay, mate.
Sometimes you gotta let him off the leash and see what happens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And he's coming to a roster who's found himself a good bit of form. So again, thank you very much for your questions. If you ever do want to get them through to us, just put them in chat. I'll probably notice them anyway. And we'll keep our eye on this drop phase. See if anything new, interesting, different happens. Na'Vi out early, maybe just scouting for vehicles. A little different from normal, but again, that plane path is quite problematic for them.
Yeah, this is a tough one. We're going to see Raise Your Edge and N47 split Yasnaya.
DA, big split too.
Obviously, the relegation teams, the ones we want to focus on, as well as the top teams. There's a lot to look around.
Wait, did Squeaky not get the memo that they were dropping Zaki?
Znarky.
Because he's over by Yasnaya. The rest of them are over by Zaki. What? Did he just like default drop to stab? He's like, guys, I can make it. It's fine. I'll just long drop. I don't care.
He's just like, I got it. Squeaky's gone to his normal compound, basically.
And Squeaky's like, guys, why didn't you come over here? Whoa. What's wrong with you guys?
So this used to be the all-in circle in Phase 1, right?
This was
This is the one that actually made it work for them. Real Shorts can keep on tracking the kill leaders because it is now a three-way battle. Aduzi at 135, SAMTY at 133, and ubah now at 130. And also, just to really throw some big stats in there, because, you know, we've been tracking some of these players all three phases, all season long, for the entire year. Aduzi on 335 kills over the entire year. Bearing in mind he was in Red Diamonds for the first phase. And ubah, obviously, who has been on phase the entire time, 329 kills for him. And then Jeemzy, birthday boy, on 314 with SAMTY on 310 just coming on behind them. It's been an incredible year for some of these players. They've delivered consistently throughout the year. Very impressive that Aduzi's always been up there.
Yeah, it has been impressive, hasn't it? It's just one of those consistent players that you feel, no matter the scenario, he'll always be able to do something with it. Even if it's just that one-for-one trade, he never goes down without a fight.
He even showed it in the Nations, right, as well, performing brilliantly.
I mean, you look at that CIS team, basically, that was put together. It was just like, oh my god, all right, that's a scary one. You've got all your big boys coming out to play. mxey, middle of no man's land right now, having a little look around. Quite early to be that worried about that compound, but maybe just looking for some early positioning.
Well, I mean, I guess Heaven and to the west of Heaven is the kind of central spot where mxey just went to, where he's sort of looking towards those compounds. That is the central for the next circle, and maybe, you know, especially for a team like Raise Your Edge, they need to be thinking many phases ahead now. So trying to find us whatever they can. Every single point counts. When it's a 2-point difference between staying in the PEL and going into that promos in 2 weeks' time. That's a gauntlet nobody wants to go into, the promos, especially with the form that Raise Your Edge are in. Yeah,
it's scary, isn't it? It's the fact that it's the fear of the unknown. You don't know who's out there now. DA, one of the teams trying to fight to avoid it. Shiv, if you land this. Oof, go on. Bang it out. I love Car 98s. I want to see them all the time. Can we just remove SLRs completely? And any sort of, you know, DMRs.
Just remove them.
Get them gone. Just make it just rifles only. Can we do rifles only?
Yeah, but we'll be back to the double ARs then.
No, rifles only is actually the game mode I'm after here. Just rifles only.
Alamo for Team Liquid for now. He's got, I would say, DA nearby, but I don't think they're going to push him. I think, you know, once he's in that compound, he's in. Doesn't go for the liquid compound, N47. I think it's N47 that's got there. Yeah, this looks like they've got to the liquid compound first. Of course, they were in Yasnaya, so it's funny. We call it liquid compound, but they never get there first these days. Everybody beats them to it.
Yeah, I'm sure they would go if they could, but yeah, it's just not a
possibility.
Raise
Your Edge got it. There you go.
James is having a little look. Ooh, Mert.
Just having a little moment. Right. It's all good. That, no problem. TSM on the move, going to Shelter Edge. The Knights have got a widespread mansion and I think warehouse at the moment. Wanted that looks like, which is a weird one to hold. Yeah, okay, maybe just going to.
Well, he's got to be careful because TSM are coming over, so got to be a bit, you know, careful. It's Reels who's in there now.
The warehouse. Yeah,
now
Wanted to Alamo
have done the 2-2 before. They've had 2 players in this compound and 2 in the ditch. If it does kind of lean this way. And they're at that compound just north of Shelter. It's a lovely little one, the car park off the side. I'm looking to see if they maybe try and complement that with the hangar, or if they go ditch again, or where they approach this from. They've got plenty of options still.
I want to look at this circle right now. You look at that circle as it was. Just keep that picture in your mind. This is why I want to see some changes to circle settings moving into next year, 2020. Because there's not a single team north of Yasnaya, and that is 50% of the circle that everybody's in the south, because it's become too predictable.
Yes, I agree. I think we're all starting to get a little A little tired of the same old. We like the variety. We like the kind of feel of PUBG.
Remove the phase 4 water pull away.
Honestly, you
doesn't need to be there anymore. Keep it in phase 8. I'm fine with that. Keep it in phase 8.
I mean,
does not need to be there. We don't have the ducks that we used to see.
Yeah, you can't
everybody
do
bobbing
the
in the water anymore. We don't have 28 teams all sticking it in the water.
Well, that's the thing, right? If I'm sure these guys remember back in the day when PUBG first came out, the water thing was an issue because people would just sit there.
Everybody would be talking in all chat, sitting there swimming in the water in the river.
But that got fixed and the circles never got changed back.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that could be a difference, a bit of a switch up. I know we're all looking to see those exciting
It would open up the
circles.
entirety of all the circles and everything. It would totally change the heat map traces.
For sure. Beach endings. God, yeah, I remember those. It was just like, oh no, I remember being so tilted.
Where are you going, G2?
Well, I don't think they know yet. They could go
They're
edge
just
of Lepovka.
all over the shop. They know that. Surely they know phase is over here. This is a standard phase spot.
Yeah,
Okay. Adventurous shots from NIP here.
Always ambitious, isn't it?
That's that little tree. You used to get endings in these little tree area, but you never see it anymore. But this little trees that Scoom and Co are in, that little dip in the trees, you used to get a circle endings there. It was really nice. Yeah. Good tree forestry battles across that little ridge line.
CrowCrowd still above Rozhok right now, having a little time to have a look over. 7's not too far behind them. They're coming over the northern side as well.
Is anyone going to bank on it going north?
I don't know. I think ENCE are hoping it does, but...
Oh, Yasnaya finish. When was the last time we had a Yasnaya finish?
I couldn't tell you.
So long ago.
Yeah, it's been a very long time, so... It's, it'd be nice to see something different here, but I feel as though we're going to see something similar, probably centralized around Razor Edge, around DA, around M47. It would just kind of shrink in and lean a little south. And basically you can see the teams banking on it too. NIP making it across the bridge. That'll be okay. I don't think anyone's too close by. I think Reciprocity are in the forest. Well, some of Reciprocity are in the forest here. A bit of a 2-2 for them as well, I believe. And it's way far up in the north still. So loads of time for them to find wherever they want to go. G2 have gone way far up north as well. They've got a big 2-2 split. Yannis and CrywZZ. Okay, so CrywZZ is down by prison. Yannis is north of farm in that kind of standalone compound to the west of shelter. And you have these two all the way up south of Kameshki. This is a big swing.
So statistically, if we were to look at this relegation battle, as we see Shiv getting absolutely battered.
Whoa.
So he's gone, first kill of the game, Shiv down. Statistically, if we were to look at this in terms of relegation battle, you'd look at kills and see who's been more successful on this map.
Yeah.
And Razor Edge and the Knights have got 98 kills for Razor Edge, 96 for the Knights.
Close.
GamerLegion have got 155.
Big swing
They're
up.
way ahead of them. So statistically, GamerLegion play this map, and we've got 3 Erangel maps. Statistically, they play it a lot better. We'll see if that plays out, though, with these 3 maps. The Circle doesn't really favor too many. The Knights are happy with it, as you say, with the Heaven Circle pull for N47 and Mansion. It's looking good for them.
I like quite neat. I like seeing that the Lepovka's still in here and things like that. It's unlikely to be played, of course, because the water, but Liquid sending it right through the middle of everyone. This is brazen for them. Sixy this time drawing blood. He's been lost a couple of times to start with.
Where are they going, though? There's not really anyone open. I mean, other than ditches. Do they swing around to Alamo that Wanted and Reels are in, maybe?
Is this
They're going for the dip, the tempo dip. That's not going to work out for them. G2 are already in there. There really is not many options for Liquid. And look at Gemty. They've kind of pulled back. So Samty is the one that's scouting for it. They're going to end up at Harry Potter, I think, in prison. Yeah, that's where he's going. Harry Potter is the place he will end up. mxey was lost as well in the same process as he tried to pull in and managed to beat him there. Now we got Desperados. They're going into Mansion. So there's only 2 members of the Knights in Mansion at the moment. That's a little big old territory to try and defend. They may decide that it's the place to go, but Drayden has done the damage. And SIMSY goes down, and now Desperados, they're in a hail of bullets. I just spoke to them outside. They were a little cautious about the relegation banner because they're on the bubble. But they've got about a 20, 30-point gap, I would say. But you don't want to be picking a big fat 0 in game 1 of Erangel.
No, Calvin's heading east, probably just going to go anywhere he can. He's last man standing, I think, now for the Desperados. Everyone else got lost on transition. Let's look at where teams are going. I like where 7 currently reside. They're on the hill overlooking ENCE. Not bad at all, actually. Quite a nice little pickup considering their position coming into this. Na'Vi very close by towards TSM. Na'Vi kind of taken over the compound that I think TSM were previously in, if I'm not mistaken, and TSM moved up towards Shelter. You've got Liquid, well, SIMSY, should I say, is just over by the Harry Potter by Prison. You've got Gemty & Co. down further south. Reciprocity on the wide swing southern side.
You're going to go join him, I think.
Yeah, ENCE actually have a good shot at this. So do FaZe. It depends where this next circle goes. If it keeps going, you know, central on this, if it heads... You're banking on it going slightly further west, basically. And Razor Edge actually don't have much to worry about if they hold that.
Down in Milta.
Not where I expected to be looking, but here we are.
Reciprocity went for the widest swing. GamerLegion catching a knock onto Senya there. That's actually quite separated from his team, so that may be a confirmed kill. That's quite a distance. I
don't know if they can flush it that easy. That's a big distance. A couple of 100 meters on that.
Looks like Bestelos is going to come in. Yeah, he's fine. He's in the ditch.
Safe enough. This is what I thought TSM might have opted for earlier. The complementary position of the house. That we can see a Doozy and Pokemon in the ditch. If you have both of them, it's just a really strong hold on this side.
I reckon now going through Milta and around towards Power and going around that way.
I mean, they could just go Lumber if they really want to, you know what I mean? Like
they're not to know it, of course. Scoom's like, oh, scout it for us, boys. I'm going to go in there. Just play it really safe. Obviously, they are close-ish with NIP. Still a bit of work to be done there, though. So, what, 23-point difference? Doable in three games.
Oh, it's about to get pulled up on. He needs to move out of there. Losing a bit of the territory. Maybe they were looking to hold up in the north. They were having a bit of a widespread.
Where are we going? It's shrinking. Okay, predictable where we expect. G2 obviously still very happy with their compound. Raise your edge.
Okay.
Not looking so strong with the liquid compound now.
All right, PUBG gods. If you've ever loved me or cared for me, let's end this in prison. Let's just have a...
pull to... Oh, yeah, that's a hell of a pull if it goes there.
Look, it could happen. There's nothing saying it
won't. The thing is, all right, obviously if it does go to say where... Are they going to move on that, Na'Vi?
They're just trying to pull themselves back into the same compound.
If it goes to this sort of fields area, it is such an open territory in terms of pounds. Seven and UAZs. They haven't got a good record.
No, they don't. Just stop slapping each other with them. Calvin, don't move. They have limited vision. Stay still.
He's going to go for the last man. Does he think that's the last man?
Oh, Edelweiss is out on foot.
Oh, no. Krabic sees him. Does he?
Calvin's a ninja. Look at this guy.
So there's little blonde highlights that are working out for him there. He has one with the rock.
That's the last player.
Oh, CrowCrowd pulling up on D8. Beautiful Death going to get one. NOOKIE goes down. Calvin has gone for the spray on Edelweiss. Hasn't worked out for him. Beautiful Death will fall as well. This is actually outside the circle as well.
Third party, Raise Your Edge coming in. Mitraleius is no longer safe. Neither is SKUIJKE. There's danger everywhere. Individual battles are not fun, especially if you are DA. You're facing up against CrowCrowd, who have some very, very potent players currently. That nade could have been awkward. It actually might work out. Doesn't quite make it to Mert. He's actually a little further off from this one. You're still looking for them to get more pickups, but there goes Mert in the end. That's going to be a big catch for mxey. They're on the hillside overlooking this.
That was through the window in the compound. So Mitraleius left alone. Sixmo is back on his feet, but he's not going to be a part of this fight just yet. He needs to get his meds off first. Mitraleius, he's in the next room, mate. In the next room. No way to look in there. Okay, Sixmo's up. Is he going to be able to join him? No. Too low, too slow. Sixmo may well go.
And here we are. Braexco with the headshot, and now he's looking worse for wear. I think CrowCrowd, do they have all 4 on their feet? They do. So that's just a really nice compound breach from them. They're not actually in the circle either. So this is just kind of the step on the path for them. They need to still continue to move. Beyond that, Reciprocity are probably happy with this one. They were coming in very slow on the southern side. To have a circle like this would be really nice. Calvin Klein in a lot of trouble here. He did make it past or stayed alive as 7 went past him. Now he gets spotted out by Krabic. I thought that could have happened earlier, but that wasn't to be.
Yeah, that's... NIP are actually still out in no man's land as well at the moment. Mansion is open now because the Knights are pulled away from there, so Mansion's wide open.
Surely they've got to be right behind Na'Vi now, CrowCrowd. They're getting so many points here.
I mean, they were, what, 20? It was 28 points before the start of this game. So still a bit of work to do, but collecting kills like that. They did lose Tiikzu in the pull-up, and now they've got caught out in the field. There's Tiikzu going down. Got him back up, but he's immediately back down. N47 will collect those points. Circle shrinks relatively central, and NIP have committed to prison.
Just gonna have to take what they can. If you're on the east, there isn't much more to go to, is there? CrowCrowd barely alive, just trying to hold on here. N47 happy to commit some time to this. You look beyond that, GamerLegion still a nice little spot over by Shelter. You have Na'Vi still in the same compound. TSM still comfy. Liquid can start leaving the Harry Potter Tower and want to have a little look down towards prison, but they have to be careful to not get wrapped on. ENCE are going to send it maybe towards G2, but G2 aren't in either. They're just in a ditch. Oh no, this is a horrible surprise. And there goes SKUIJKE, there goes TRYFFELI, and it's all looking bad for ENCE here.
I mean, if to stop that, because obviously G2 are in the dip, but they are very contained, Rustanmar's nades could find a way in, based on the fact they're very close there. They had to rip 2 of those out of the car, and they may well better conform him. NELLOZ is down there still. He hasn't been able to find him. CrowCrowd will get the one down, and there goes ENCE. But they did enough damage. They got 2 kills. No, Braexco is going to get back on his feet. NELLOZ caught him.
Yeah, just a bit of a save here. Fuzzface in the middle of the field, running through. Look at him in the middle of no man's land, just trying to make a play. That's pretty mad.
That's brazen. That's an N47 are actually coming for it as well. So Fuzz, he knows where they are. He knows they're in that dip, and he's trying to line up a nade. He's thinking, I can use this burning vehicle. They'll never see me. And now just try and toss them nades in there. He's only got a single nade. So I think he's a little too slow on this play that he wants to make work. Razor Edge, they've gone for a big wraparound. They've gone all the way around the south. They're going to come in on the edge of Skelter.
Oh my god, it's perfect. It landed literally next to him. They couldn't get away from it. Razor Edge is sending it now.
Yeah, Fuzzy's just running back to his bike and he's off. He's like, got it, made it work. NIP slowly getting surrounded. 7 are up on the walls. Reciprocity have found them on the top side. And a little knock on N47. They're still trying to find themselves a dip of their own. I don't think there's any available anymore.
Don't believe so. Misa made it in. All right. Clinging on for dear life. Team Liquid looking for other options, maybe. I'm wondering how they play this out. It's a hard area to be locked into. They do have a little bit of cover to play with, but they have to be careful to not get too much pressure from their southern side. If Reciprocity or maybe 7 split around that edge could be a problem. Same with Razor Edge. If they get vision, that could be a fall down there.
Yeah, we're going to see N47 fall here. Unless they manage to collapse on G2 and take that dip away from them, it's going to be a tough pull. You can see NELLOZ is trying to reposition for this one, which may leave them exposed. Page gets taken down in the process. Braexco trying to smoke his approach. Eivel has already pulled up right next to him, though, and whatever hit Braexco there has done the job. Ubah is the man that will find the knock, but Eivel steals it with the kill.
That was really well timed. Quite lucky there.
NELLOZ got out.
Wide swing, yeah. NELLOZ somehow just sent it away and made it to the hills. Don't know if he can survive there, but there Fuzzface spotting out Edelweiss on the hillside. Aitzy beside him. Good vision, but Monkey from afar could be causing problems for Fuzzface. He's got to run himself in now. Maybe look to go down the dip slightly, give up old Pride Rock and look for another position to play from.
Yeah, that was a nice push from FaZe. Obviously, they were down on the wall. They have been for a long time, and it's a position they've played so many times. So kind of caught 7 off guard there. Kravik will be able to get the knockdown, but he's instantly replied upon by Udir and stolen away by Ibi. So a lot of gunfights going on around the prison. And now it's all going to pull away. The Knights in GamerLegion, all in the circles. TSM, of course, with the big warehouse.
They're so happy with that.
This is a big points grab for one of these teams. Razor Edge are just a little south of GamerLegion. We may find them clashing down on the south side.
Yeah, Razor Edge are creeping forward. It doesn't look like GamerLegion are too aware of it either, so they could be caught off guard massively by this. I don't know how close they're going to get, though. We'll have to find out once we see it. For now, we're watching Ubah try and survive. Doesn't have many meds, so he should be going down anytime soon. NIP going to make the run for it. Trying to get out of prison. Breaking around the corner. Miraku does manage to outdo one from Liquid. Is the follow-up there? Gemdi still stands.
SIMSY's the one that goes. Ubah's going to drop as well, which is going to open up the field for the likes of Aduzi to try and pick up some more frags, but Team Liquid will get ahead of the curve here. So NIP is still sitting in the outside of the wall. They're trying to come around, and Harry Potter's been now occupied, which is going to cause a problem for them to try and get any further. N47 also in the dip, and Razor Edge trying to start working their way forward, but they have been spotted by GamerLegion.
Yeah, Coldamenta got spotted there as he worked slightly further towards the east, maybe still trying to follow that hillside around further.
You know, they might just look towards trying to get some points from this hillside battle.
N47 pulling right up towards the feet of NIP, and Liquid on that side, keep in mind. T-Bone sprayed away at by Gaxi, hoping he gets that kill, and they do. They sweep past them. NIP stay standing with 4, making it out of this prison so far. It's pretty impressive. Gaxi, that's a dead body. Leave him alone. He's already dead.
He died a long time ago as well.
Let him be.
Razor Edge are doing exactly what I thought. They're going to go for points. They're going for the battle. They're going to join in. They're coming right in behind Reciprocity. They're just trying to get as many points away from this. They've got the edge of the circle as well. So everybody that's coming out of prison area now is running straight into Razor Edge.
Yeah, they are. Gaxi there to find Ibby. We're looking for this straight-up brawl between them. They can all be lined up here. Gaxi definitely spots it out. Can he get the job done, though? Reciprocity have 2 fights on 2 fronts. Monkey does succeed against Buster, but it's not without an answer. Gaxi, the control is perfect in this mess of names that we're currently looking at.
Tap, 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 tap. Working it well. FaZe Clan go down as Uber bleeds out in the blue. And now NIP, Team Liquid, Reciprocity all collapsing on one another down by this roadside edge with the few trees that are available to them. NIP in towards Gemty, still remaining in that little shack in the Harry Potter. He is Hagrid on the roof.
Spray comes out, but it was actually Iroh from afar with the SLR. Gonna find the shot, and Monkey gets punished. We're seeing this battle continue. Reciprocity getting picked apart here. They're in between 2 teams who are desperately fighting for it. Odir trying to take the fight towards Razor Edge and loses. Reciprocity going down in 8th, and we're gonna see this continuing. No one's making out of this battle cleanly.
That was 1 for Razor Edge, and if SIMSY goes on the blue, which I think he will, it was 1 for GamerLegion.
Gemty?
What? All right. See ya. See ya.
Give us
oh,
a
he's
replay.
gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Nah, he's not. Look at Gemty. He's fine. He's great.
So SIMSY bleeds out. So 1 point for both Razor Edge and GamerLegion from this so far. Gemty somehow gets out of there. I don't know.
Was that just a nade?
It goes to the warehouse, and the Knights still in their compound. So now Na'Vi are going to make a play. We may see them pull up. That warehouse is massive to defend, and that could be a position they decide to crash on TSM.
Here we go. This is the stalemate, isn't it? Big open field surrounding TSM, who have such good vision from that area.
2 cars on a bike to work with.
That's very nice for Razor Edge.
Yeah.
Surprised they still have it. 10 seconds. Everyone's got to make their mind up. Now, I'm curious what GamerLegion do. Not an easy one to transition away from either.
They're going to go to Gemty. They're going to go over to Gemty and try and confirm the kill. They know it's 1 person. They just want to get that 1 kill. They're going to see him running straight towards him. He's got 1, nearly got the second. mxey will manage to get the refrag on him. Lynxy can get revived back on his feet. And that's another point. And that takes them, I believe, within a point of GamerLegion. GamerLegion themselves, they only need to go a little bit south. They'll still be inside the circle. It does leave them a bit exposed. There is that horrible wood shack there as well that they could possibly go to. Na'Vi, let's see where they go to. Oh, no, they're coming in towards GamerLegion.
Yeah, almost nade range. You saw Bjorn considering it for a second there. They both know each other here. They're trying to ignore TSM and just take the fight on each other, jump those points, get those kills going for them. Senya tagged up, gonna have to get the heal off. He's okay. Smoke wall goes up, trying to obscure the vision of TSM, give themselves some safety from the north to allow the focus on the south.
TSM really looking to try and get involved. Knights, I don't think have picked up a kill. But they are obviously in positional points, as is everyone. As mxey gets found out, the Knights will definitely be picking up kills here. Razor Edge are the ones that are the victims, and they're going to be absolutely licking their lips. It was a couple of points between the 2 teams, and now the Knights will pour the damage down onto these vehicles.
There's Drayden getting the points. mxey still bleeding out slowly but surely. Drayden, nice push hit.
Look at this. It's like we've got to get the kills. We have to make the play. He's got a Groza. Gets the headshot down. Calder meant to finish. Razor Edge go down. They get themselves 6 kills and counting. The Knights, they're continuing to keep ahead of the pack in terms of the relegation battle.
And they're looking for those next circles too. I like this. This is good timing on the play while all the pressure is in the southern side. They're looking for a way to get closer towards TSM if they need it. Wanted.
So that's 2 tier 3, level 3 geared up players they have now. And as you say, they move to that central position on the next circle. GamerLegion are the next ones to maybe fall here. They're in horrible position with Na'Vi flanking around them. Aduzi's little play here to get this position, the off angle, has paid off.
Yeah, look at that circle right on towards the Knights. Perfect readjustment. As long as they can hold back TSM, they need that Na'Vi GamerLegion battle to resolve so they can focus on what's on front of them.
Pokemon, the nades are in. This is not good for GamerLegion. The nades are about to land right on top of them. They've got to be careful. They've got a doozy down, so they have to make that as their angle to try and make the move. The
Bjorn's
circle
pushing
goes
the high ground.
to the
I like
Knights.
that. Look at this positioning from Bjorn. If he peeks out high ground, he actually might be able to get a shot, but I think he's being focused now by Snark. GamerLegion, you know, there's no escape from it now. They're out of bullets, it looked like then as well.
The only saving grace for GamerLegion right now is if TSM engage with the Knights. They are trying to smoke the way across in towards the Knights. The only thing that can stop them is TSM. TSM are looking to get mobile to get out of their warehouse as well. Senyu's been downed as well, so it does leave just bestlush and PokeMoldy in a fairly open spot. They don't have any smokes left.
No, they can't cross. They're the ones meant to hold them back. Aduzi and Senyu are trying to make it across the road to secure next position. Might be time to get in the vehicle and go do what you can. bestlush being left to the wolves here. And there goes PokeMoldy trying to make it maybe towards the cabin. Try and save Aduzi. He's probably the best bet here if he can make it in.
Oh, Hamster got
Damage
Senya.
came back through.
bestlush bleeding out in the blue. It's absolutely ticking like a hammer now. Doesn't have a chance to get the med off. bestlush is into the open, but not a lot he can do about it. He does give the point across to GamerLegion. They've only got 3 from this, so that is vital for them with the Knights on 8.
Yeah, the Knights fighting tooth and nail for this one. mxey is done for there. Maybe going to opt to bleed out. Might go for a little cheeky peek and then leave it as it stands. He'd have to hit something magical to make it out of it, and there they go. Down in 4th, and now that's a big way to close out on towards Na'Vi.
See ya, Gustav gets in there, but now we have a full-on 4v4. The Knights have such a great positional play here, though.
Why is Snark so alone? I worry that he's so alone there. If they can isolate him...
Oh, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone.
Oof. I love a 4v4 ending. This will show us how damn good TSM could potentially be. If they can isolate one of those Knights players and punish them, it's game back on. But the Knights have everything working in their favor now.
They have all the circle, all the cover, 2 players geared out of their minds. We might see some taps from the M249 of Wanted. Remember Aduzi making it work. Or was it bestlush? I can't remember which one it was that had the M249 tapping away, sniping with it. Gustav, that is brazen.
I think they're trying to work out where these players are. Again, circle lands well for them. Rolls a nade. Snark backs up. That second one was big, though. Snark's in a bit of danger. They might find some weakness here. That might be their focus point. Wanted waiting to support. You can see the 3-man lean to the south.
Forward. Ready to pop up. The circle goes in Knight's favor. Big Drayden holding the back angle. Wanted looking to hop up and tank all the damage.
They need a knock. That's what they need. TSM need a knock. The Knights are still holding. They are in such good position. Look at Reels' angle. He's getting all the info here. He can just start ruining their armor, doing bits of damage here and there. 15 seconds till the blue really starts to move them in. And Snark, again, adding further pressure. Still have nades to go. They're not getting this knock for free. And oh, Reels is looking a little low. Maybe there's some chance here. Snark finds Michael, though, and it's a quick response. Rory's on the bike.
Wanted. Oh, no, he's going straight into Wanted. Wanted pops up. M249 spray down Rory. Doesn't catch too much, but, well, there's not a lot he can do about that. Gonna gun him down. Gustav was also taken very low. Reels back on his feet, making his way forward. Wanted catches and finishes Rory. It's knocked down, though.
Yeah, blue ticking. Gonna push them forward. TSM, I think, are just down to Iroh now. Left in a huge uphill struggle. A 1v3, it'll be a 1v4 soon. The blue was on his back, and he runs in and accepts his fate. It's the Knights with a well-timed win, and they needed that.
22 points absolutely was needed. It puts them on 470 right behind Desperados. The pressure is off for now on the Knights, and it's all about GamerLegion and Raise Your Edge. That 12 and 13, very close to one another still. They both picked up just a couple of points between that, and placement points as well for GamerLegion, don't forget, because they went out after Raise Your Edge.
Glad to see the Knights there able to stabilize at the end. Those are the situations where you go back to your basics, you go back to the fundamentals, you do not allow that pick to happen on the extremities, and they made it work.
Let's see what they got to say. Paula, speak to the big boy.
Which one is the big boy? I'll start with Reels. Okay, you're going to decide for me then, guys. Who would like to speak first? All right, Snark. I think it was yourself and Reels that had a moment at the end that moved things in your favor, where you guys had a bit of a crossfire going on against TSM. Is that correct? How did you make things work at the end?
We're just trying to not get relegated.
Nice, man, but in terms of technicality of the game, how did you make sure that you came out on top of TSM?
I don't know, we used our vehicles well to like get more circle control and then just kill them.
And it's absolutely crucial timing to not be relegated. At this point now, you have taken off a bit of the pressure. Wanted. How does that feel?
It feels pretty good. Like, we finally got an E circle, like where we loot and play, and it turned out in our favor. Like we played the ground pretty good, had some pretty good comps this game as well. So like it's pretty good. Like, you feel pretty good for the team. So like finally get a win.
Drayden, do you agree?
Yes, completely. Yeah.
And so I'll finish this interview off then with Reels, since we haven't had a word from you yet. How important was it to get the chicken dinner here before our final 2 games of the day?
Very important.
Nice, guys. Really appreciate the hard thought words from all of you. Let's head back to the desk.
You'd think they'd have the silence debuff if it was anything else, but there you go, as Reels and the boys have been able to take themselves to chicken dinner here. And as Pala mentions, it does take a lot of the pressure off from them when it comes to avoiding relegations with, what did you say, I think a 22-point win or so there for them, meaning that obviously they're going to be expanding themselves beyond that relegation. It is a great win for them here.
It's almost like it's a tendency that players only want to, they want to reply with a one-word response.
Or 2.
As much as possible, or 2.
I feel like, yeah.
It's getting...
Pala's getting memed at this point.
He was memeing them in social co-op, so it's fair that he's throwing it back to them. No, overall, Knights here almost securing themselves not being relegated. This is looking really good for them. But GamerLegion, Ratio Edge were both alive for a long time, managed to get a few kills as well. So it's not... I mean, yes, it's a 22-point push for them, but the other guys are going to get 5-point plus as well, minimum. But nice to see that these guys they're desperate here in the last couple of games.
But that's gonna kind of secure them, because both Ratio Edge and GamerLegion need to pass Pittsburgh Knights to be able to put them down there. And I mean, with that 22-point game there, I think they're, what, 18 points ahead?
18 points ahead of GamerLegion and 21 a point ahead of Ratio Edge. So if they want to, they could hot drop someone. No, but it's nice to hear from the boys as well that it's nice to get a home turf circle, but also it's very nice to see that they're able to capitalize on it. They're able to push out aggressively. They're able to take the space that they were able to take, considering that they actually didn't have, like, the Alamo wasn't inside in the last couple of circles. So that move with the cars, keeping all 4 alive, pushing out Ratio Edge is so well played from Knights.
Yeah, getting the 2 knocks on Ratio Edge, and then Drayden with the vehicle just pushing straight on while the others were covering a little bit and just securing that spot. From that spot, they basically just spread out, made sure they were covering all angles against TSM.
One thing though, we skipped it a bit here, but GemT made a play of the day with throwing a nade over the Harry Potter and then eliminating all of NIP. That was a 4-point clutch for Liquid. Massive play from them and from him. I'm sad though, guys. I gotta be honest, I'm sad. TSM could have won this game, and we could have been on point for our prophecy with the Big 5 and our PTC teams all taking a win.
I'm sorry, my friend.
I'm sad. No, so for me here, before we break down the points, you can see the points on the screen though. For me though, TSM was too passive. They still had some of their compound in. They should have been aware and more coherent that Knights had to push out. Yes. They should have taken the space. While Knights were pushing, they should have taken the space. They should have third-partied the third party.
As soon as they saw that Knights were actually getting the knocks on Ratio Edge, that's when they should have made a move out from that warehouse, take control, because it was basically a race. Who's going to take control of this first is going to win the game.
And as we saw in the end as well, they had all the smokes. They had all the utility they needed. Yeah. They had the trees. They had a little bit of uphill. They had all the potential to take that win home if they wanted to. As you said, timing was really essential here, but they just didn't make it work. It was 30-40 seconds too late on the push out from warehouse compared to if they actually wanted to take the win down.
And that's how it goes. 2190 points coming in for Pittsburgh Knights here across the 12 kills that they were able to accrue. TSM breaking Avengers' dreams.
Unfortunate. Or maybe it was Knights, but I'm happy for Knights. Yeah. I'm really happy for Wanted. He's been
it's a great extended
he's been a
for
grinder.
them.
Yeah, it's good to see.
470 points there against the position that Razor Edge finds themselves in. 449 points in that 13th spot. The difference between 12th and 13th is the cutoff point for relegation. Up towards the top, a little bit of an evening up here between FaZe Clan and Team Liquid, but not by much. Team Liquid now has to do big work in the next 2 games to try and catch up with FaZe.
I mean, basically, they're going to need a win in the next game here. You don't want to wait until the last game to make a move. So getting themselves a win in the next game could potentially make sure that they could win the phase in the last one.
GamerLegion, Ratio Edge, before this game, 7 points each. Now, 3 points difference from Ratio Edge to GamerLegion. It's going to come down to the last match, guys. Literally going to come down to the last match.
Seems that way. It could for a lot of these positions here, as Reciprocity is not having the best of time trying to catch up with NIP. They did not heed the advice.
I mean, it's still 27 points. They can still do it.
Sure,
it's still possible in 2 games. But you got to take out NIP first thing first, directly when the game starts. You can't wait. If you're waiting, NIP might just be able to sneak into the game and get themselves a few kills, and it's going to be even harder.
I highly doubt they would ever do it. Again, though, it kind of like it's weird in this position, right? Because 9th place is $0.
Yeah.
8th place is $15,000, but they are not keen on the idea.
And there's only one thing stopping you from that, and that one thing is NIP. At the same time, you have nothing to lose as Reciprocity. You can't drop down to relegation
Would you
anymore.
do it? Would you do it?
There's... No.
Would you do it?
No? Yes.
100% I'd be doing it.
I honestly, for me, at this point, they have a bigger chance of making a good game with their own style of play, looting casually, and then going into the circle, trying to get a good position, rather than maybe risking losing 1 or 2 guys.
But that wouldn't matter if NIP gets a good game as well.
No, then you set up a camp, you set up a bridge camp, you set up a gatekeep, you do something else like that. Gotta think ahead of the game. If it was more like, if it was closer, eliminating them getting the 4 points, then sure. I'm more curious to see what GamerLegion Ratio Edge is gonna do. 3 points is a lot more, a lot more on the line, a lot closer than
if someone throws a Hail Mary and tries to go for something like that, could be a thing.
I mean, yeah, and you saw how desperate like Ratio Edge were for the points there. They literally pushed out of the zone to kill Gempty to get that 1 point. At the same time, Pittsburgh Knights made that move as well. They saw that it was Ratio Edge. They knew that they had to take them out. That's their #1 enemy right now.
Yeah, and now, like as you said, unless GamerLegion and Ratio Edge both have like a 15+ game, 1st and 2nd place, which I doubt will happen, then Knights are going to be safe. And they're going to be staying out of relegation. I would like to see them continue, though. I want to see them continue pushing and playing this aggressive play style compared to what we've seen from them before.
Let's use the same argument for 1 and 2 then. Because do you do anything there? Because if Team Liquid keeps playing their own style, they're a little bit behind. What do you do? Because you're not going to be taken over at this point by TSM unless they get 2 massive wins.
No.
It's not going to happen. So you're not risking any money to then try and launch yourself to #1.
29 points.
For Liquid, it's a little bit too hard.
You think so?
Yeah.
The Milta power area is just so hard to hot drop. That
makes sense.
If you want to lock one down, like, sure, you can get Fuzzface, you can get mxey, you can get ubah, you get maybe one of the guys, but the other guys are going to come rolling at you with 3 guys live. And
they're powerful guys.
Yeah, but Liquid on the other hand, if you want to deny Liquid, hot drop Pochinki, because these guys are used to fighting in Pochinki. They always played team deathmatch in Pochinki, often in scrims. When they play online,
It doesn't matter to FaZe if they die off in that moment anyway, as long as they've done crippling damage to their opponents.
Well, Liquid is pretty good on snaking, though. We know that. They're down to 1 player. They get
but like a 30-point snake, I doubt it.
30-point snake. All right, anyway, thanks, gentlemen. 2 more games to go here for Phase 3. Join us after this. You do not want to miss it. The conclusion of Phase 3 is